It is what it is already within us. Is what it is already up in us. Is what it is already up in us. Ooh, belief is irrelevant. It is what it is. Truth over belief. Truth over belief. Because you have chosen truth over belief, you shall be set free. Is what it is already up in us. Yeah, is what it is already up in us. His truth is within us. It lives within us. His spirit is within us. He created our spirits. He is the author of our spirit. Don't you think he would write his laws and his commandments on his creation? Why do you think you gotta read it through the pages of some book that was compiled by your enemy and then spread by way of the sword? Let's use common sense. It is what it is already up in us. It is what it is already up in us. His truth, his laws, his statutes is already up in us. Yeah. It's already up in us. But people want to go outside of themselves and read in pages of books, and they want to build their life upon what they're reading in these books and ignore what's inside of them. And they want to justify it with the pages of those books. It's like, bruh, I just can't with the majority of people. Oh, man, sinuses, bro. I ain't never dealt with sinus issues before. I never had allergies. My brother is the one that dealt with allergies. It wasn't me. And again, this recording was not planned, bruh. I had that melody in my head and I wanted to record it. It is what it is already up in us. Yeah, his truth is within us. Belief is something that comes from a man, okay? You believe something because you were taught, alright? This is where belief comes from, alright? Now, I'm not going to keep this audio long because I'm literally working. I'm trying to get this next video out, and I got another audio after this that I got to get out before this one, so that I recorded yesterday. So right now I'm working on There Is a Reason We Have Been Awakened, okay? And I have another audio on my phone, which I do not remember the name of, and I can't see it because I'm actually recording. So I'm going to be having that come first because I recorded it yesterday on 5/26. Oh, I know what it's called. It's called expounding. Expounding on the last two videos, which is the eternal creator of all life and love has always desired for us to be happy. Okay? That one, I'm expounding upon that one primarily, and also tying in to the one that I'm working on right now, which is There Is a Reason We Have Been Awakened. Okay? That's the video that I'm compiling right now. In the middle of picking up my phone to record this on 5/27, 8:16 a.m. by my PC. Is actually 7:16 Eastern Standard Time. Now, the Father woke me up at 5 something this morning, and I went ahead and woke up, used the bathroom, then came back and got into the sealed portion. Now, oh man, bro, oh my gosh, it's so much. Oh man, bro, I have this video program open to work on this video, and now it's like this is flowing. So the Father is like, here, I'm just going to continue to give you work. There ain't no time to where I'm just like, what shall I do with my idle time? I don't have any idle time. I literally don't. Now, there are times that I do watch, I've been watching the 100 on Netflix. I usually do that while I eat, but I pay attention to the things that they're saying, even though I do still find it, entertaining. But I understand, what entertaining is there for. I'm awake to their tactics, and I'm also looking for things to connect, so I can get enjoyment while at the same time, being aware of what's going on, what they're trying to convey to the sleeping public, and then I can tie them things in. It is what it is already up in us. Tiggy, I will take you out later. Chill out. Alright, so I made it to chapter 74. I'm on chapter 74 now. Oh man, this is so good. It is so good. So good. Because I cannot even describe to you, because it's like really hard, because most people ain't had this within them, okay? So it'll go over the head of most people. Alright? I don't know why I'm doing that. Alright, so I made it to 74. I don't want to do that on this tablet because it keeps my place. Let me bring it. I have to bring up my browser. Bruh, it's already in me, and it has always been in me, okay? It has always been in me, but I could never explain why I felt the way that I felt, and why I was the way that I was, okay? Like, why did I not want to work some 9 to 5? Why did I have such a problem with working these jobs? Why was it that I was always late? Was it really because I was lazy? Why was it that I always wanted to call in? And why was it that I got tired of being on a freaking cycle, continuously doing the same thing over? Why was it that I had a problem with this, okay? I could not do it, alright? It irked the living hell out of me, okay? And I hated it, every freaking aspect of it, alright? I could never explain why that was, but I knew it wasn't because of laziness, okay? So, I am reading in the pages of a sealed book, okay? that I didn't know existed for most of my life. I didn't know that it existed. But now, during the times that the Father said that he will release books, he will unseal the books and put them in the hands of the wise and those that seek, seems to me that it's ancient prophecy that is happening. But it's so simple that people throw it out. But see, this has always been within me. It's always been within me. Okay? I knew that there was something wrong with this system. That it is bondage. That it is slavery. You're in captivity. And I knew that. But I couldn't explain it. I couldn't articulate it. So my whole life, my whole adult life, where I was forced to get some slave job, I was always looked down upon as lazy. Okay? I was stigmatized and labeled, judged harshly for not wanting to wholeheartedly put my whole lessons into slaving for this beast system that I could clearly see was wicked. Let's get to the scripture. Now, I had already brung out a lot of stuff on this, okay? But, bro, I just read this last night, alright? And there's a lot more. I'm going to be giving you guys the fullness by the leading of the Spirit. This is how he has me doing this, okay? Now, though it's, there's chapters before this that we are going to get into, but it just blows my mind how when I read these things, I already knew this. It was already in me. But I was one of few that could see it and that could feel the oppression of it, okay? Oh man, this is gonna cut, okay? Now I just read a lot of this morning, and I read last night. So hold on, give me a second, cause this is all dealing with prophecy, people. This is all dealing with prophecy, and this is breaking down John and Revelation, okay? And it's describing the system that we live in, okay? Alright, so it talks about the United States because, I always thought it strange that the United States and America was not mentioned in the pages of the so-called Holy Bible, okay? Like, clearly, see, they did this on purpose, alright? They did this on purpose and make you believe that the Bible is the infallible word of God, that you cannot go outside of their compiled book that they labeled the Holy Bible, that's literally full of holes. It's holy, alright. That's why you gotta have the Spirit of truth dwelling with you. Oh my gosh, okay, he wants me to actually start here. Alright, oh my gosh. Everything that you see on the screen. Oh man, this is chapter 71, okay? 71. Now, within the past couple of days, I have read this, okay? And we're going to get it all. All right? Maybe not in one setting, but we're going to get it all right? Verse 66. And Satan shall set up this great nation of the latter days, and deceive all the children of men therein. And there shall be some who have the mark of the Lamb in their foreheads, but they shall be few. And those who do not belong to the great and abominable church of the devil shall have the peace of the Spirit that the Father has promised to all of his children who keep his commandments. And John wrote further concerning this great nation under Satan in the last days. And he wrote, saying, And the beast that was, and is not, and yet is, hath given his full power unto an eighth. And this eighth is of the seventh. And this eighth shall worship the beast. And this beast is he that goeth into perdition. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. And these things have I already given an explanation of previously in this record. But these are the words of John that I have not yet explained unto you. And he wrote, saying, These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them at the last day. For he is Lord of lords, and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And he said unto me, The waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled, until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. The European nations, the great white nation, the great white European nation, the United States of America, which is the Roman Empire revived. Yeah, people. See, you don't understand prophecy. You Christian evangelicals out there. You don't understand true prophecy. Because you're wanting to ignore all of these things that have already happened. You don't want to take responsibility for the fact that you were a tool used to carry out the eternal law of sowing and reaping. Okay? You yielded yourself for wickedness. Alright? You chose to be a willing vessel for spirits of devils to operate through, to destroy the people of the Most High. You did that, okay? What do you think the Inquisition was all about? Alright, you did that. You were able to just destroy everything. And you want to ignore that. You want to ignore that you've literally been used by Satan to trample everything that was good that the Father created and gave to us freely. You have put everything, everyone and all of creation under captivity. The earth is groaning and moaning. Can't you not tell? Can't you not look around and see that something is horribly wrong, bro? But see, I've known this my whole life. Growing up as a child, I knew something was wrong with this earth. I knew something was wrong with this world, you know. And I knew that there was something wrong with this illusion. I felt like I was living an illusion my whole life, okay? But I just didn't understand it. Now let me get back to the scripture because we got a lot. And the woman which thou sawest, this is verse 72. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Alright? Now it's going to get into it. This is chapter 72. I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of water right quick. I got to go get some more. Great. Alright. I'm out. I prefer lukewarm water to cold, but it's alright. Alright, give me a second. Okay. Verse 72. Give me a second. The United States is the great whore of the latter days. All other nations shall hate the United States because of its pride. Now, these other nations can attest to what I'm saying. The other nations outside of the United States, I know how you feel about the great whore. Okay? All nations and kingdoms will be in turmoil before the coming of Yahusha, and all will fall before him. And now, my beloved brothers and sisters, I say unto those of you who have received this record and are reading the words which I have been commanded to write unto you by Yahusha, behold, the woman and the great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth is this great nation which shall rise forth in the latter days, even the nation which is called the United States by you. And this nation shall be like unto the Roman nation in all things, and like the great Roman Empire it shall fall, and great shall be the fall thereof. And during the last days there shall be other nations upon the earth, which shall also belong to the church of the devil, or the great and abominable church of which Nephi hath given an account. And these shall also be under the influence of the beast, and shall be consumed by their desire and interest in money, and in gain, and in the fine things of the world. And there shall be 10 great nations that shall be upon the earth at the same time, that the United States shall wield its power and influence over the world. And these are the 10 horns of which John has written, that shall hate the whore. For behold, these nations shall agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, or in other words, be under the influence of Satan like unto the United States. But these other nations shall hate the United States, and abhor that for which it standeth. For these shall see the influence of the great whore upon the whole earth, and the cause of her wickedness, because of the greatness of her strength, which is the strength of her armies and her navies, which shall subdue all those who rise up against her. And she shall be prideful and arrogant in that which she claimeth of herself, even that she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. And this according to the prophecy of John. For the United States shall raise his head above all other nations, and proclaim his dominance over all the nations of the earth. And the leaders and the people of this great nation shall think of themselves as the most powerful nation upon the earth, against which no other nation shall rise and prosper. And the other nations of the earth shall commit fornication with this nation, or this great whore of which John speaketh. And this meaneth that they shall take part of the economy of this nation, and wax rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Behold, the people of this nation shall consume more of the earth and its resources than all the other nations of the earth. And their appetite for the things of the world shall go contrary to the laws of nature that have been established for its survival since the beginning. They are destroying the earth. Okay? They are killing all of the water, sea life, the ocean life. Okay? They are killing the ecosystem. Alright? They're destroying everything. They're killing off the bees. They're killing everything. They have destroyed everything. And the health of the earth itself shall be affected because of the wants of this nation. And its people shall believe that they are special. Yeah, a chosen people above all others. And this because of their prosperity and their riches and the fine things of the earth which they lust after and desire. Which things they get by trampling down the true people of this land. when they came over here to the fourth part and set up their government and trampled underfoot the people. He gave our land to our enemies. Verse 14. And the youth of this nation shall be unlike any other since the world began. For they shall be consumers of their lust, having been taught these things by their parents. And there shall be great markets set up in which are displayed all the fine things of the world. Malls, shopping malls. Where do the young people go hang out? Don't they go hang out at the shopping malls? And the youth of this nation shall gather themselves to these markets, and envy that which they do not possess, and buy all that they can purchase with the money that their hearts are set upon. And virtue and righteousness and honesty and integrity and hard work and sacrifice, even all those things that are the fruits of righteousness shall be a thing of the past. And the youth of this nation shall oppress their elders and cause great turmoil for their parents. For these youth shall desire all the fine things of the earth and center their hearts and thoughts upon these things, and care not for the poor and the needy, the sick and the afflicted that are among them. And the women of this nation shall rise up in power against the men, and begin to control their husbands, and look down upon them, and set their hearts upon all the fine things of the world that they can get from their husbands, each lusting after these things in her heart. And the young women shall lust after that which an older man can give unto her to make her comfortable and give her security in the lust of the flesh. And these women shall rule over their husbands and live in misery with them, lusting only after those things that they receive because of the money of their husbands. And the men of this nation shall think of themselves nothing but those things which they must do in order to acquire more material goods and get more gain, that they might in their pride have more than their neighbor, and be looked upon as one who has gained the success of the world because of his hard work and his industry. And these men shall engage in all manner of business to get gain, and their desires shall be set in lavishness and in envy of the honors and glories of men, and their money and their possessions and the security of the blessings that they receive from Satan shall be the desires of their hearts. And then shall the words of the prophet Isaiah come to pass in the latter days, even as he said, the shrewd of their countenance does witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom, they hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. Say ye to the righteous, that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings. Woe unto the wicked, for it shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hands shall be given him. As for my people, Children are their oppressors. Now, when it says, as for my people, it's talking about ancient Israel. And when I talk about ancient Israel, I'm talking about your so-called Negro. And since we're talking about the United States of America, I'm talking about your African Americans. Give me a second. Now, as for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths. And now, my brothers and sisters, I have seen your day, and I know of your wickedness, even that every soul upon the face of the earth is wicked in some manner, having made Satan their God, and money, which is the number of the beast, their desire. And because of these things, and the pride of this great whore, the other nations of the world shall hate her. And according to the words of John, these have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. For the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and to give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled, until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And now John continueth his prophecy, describing many things of the things that I have explained unto you concerning the beast, and the great city, or the whore, as I have explained it unto you. And it is that great city of Babylon, or the city that is the whore of all the earth, even these United States, of which John wrote, when he said, and after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine and of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye receive not of her plagues. Okay? That's what we're here for, people. That's what we're here for. Those who are the sheep. Those who are the sheep of Yahushua HaMashiach. Even those that are still in these abominable churches because they don't know any better. This is a call to all of you to come out of her. Come out of her. Come out of her, so that you receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Do you know the church? Do you know the Catholic Church is number one for pedophilia? Do you know how many children they have corrupted sexually? Do you know that the church is runner-up, like right under the heels of the Catholic Church? You got your Christian denominations, your Baptists, your Southern Baptists, and all of these. Do you know how many pastors, do you know how many church practitioners have raped children? Do you understand that you are a part of an abomination upon the earth? Come out of her. Come out of her. Okay? I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. Okay? Torture went on, alright? Torture, sacrifice to demons and devils, okay? When you start yielding yourself to demons and devils, it is unquestionable, okay? They cannot get enough, all right? They want more and more and more and more wickedness, okay? The more depravious, okay? You have no freaking idea the depths of the things that I have been made aware of, okay? Reward her. This is verse 35. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works, in which she has fulfilled, in which she has filled the cup of the indignation of the wrath of the Most High. Yeah, in the cup which she has filled. Fill to her double. See, this was all during the times of the Gentiles, okay? They want to ignore their atrocities. They want to ignore what they did over here in the fourth part. They want to ignore what they did all before they even came to the fourth part, okay? Because they had control over the three parts of the world before they came to the fourth part. They already had the Roman Empire. They were already controlling the three parts, okay? They already were controlling that. And then they came over to the fourth part, okay? You know, the revived Roman Empire, okay? The wound that healed. And they gave their power unto the beast, okay? You know, it's all tying in. You get Britain, Vatican, you know, the Vatican, Britain, and the freaking United States, okay? They're all, this is, bruh, this, Revelations is talking about that, alright? This has all happened, okay? 1492, they came over to the fourth part, okay? Bruh, what do you think that has been going on all this time? This is prophet. You don't think that that was prophecy? Or did you want to ignore the past 400 or 500 years and say that wasn't prophecy, and now you want to talk that this is coming like now? You want to act like the beast is on its way, like as if the beast has not already been here all this time, trampling down the children of the Most High, the sons of light. Trampling us down. Bruh. How much she has glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her because of the pride of her heart. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Most High Power who judges her. See, the eternal law is in effect, people. Sowing and reaping is in effect, and you have sowed seeds of death, destruction, murder, rape, chaos, and you're destroying the earth, bruh. You're destroying the earth, you worst of the heathen, okay? So therefore, the eternal law has the balance. The eternal law is in effect to keep balance, all right? It has to balance itself. This earth is in chaos. Everything is groaning and mourning. We're all in agony. We're all in turmoil, okay? The whole creation groaneth and moaneth. The righteous blood is crying out to the Father, and has been crying out to the Father. You know that it's going to be corrected. You know that right is going to correct itself of this earth is gonna correct itself, okay? So you have sown this whole time of nothing but death, destruction, murder, chaos. Bruh, what do you think that you are about to reap, okay? You think you're going to escape this? You think that you're going to be raptured away? Well, I am sorry to be the one to bust your bubble. Let's just bust that bubble, okay? Look, you ain't being raptured nowhere, okay? You're going to face your wickedness. You're going to reap everything that you have sown, okay? The kings of the earth, verse 38. The kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. Yea, the merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones, and of pearls and fine linen, and purple and silk and scarlet, and all fine wood, and all manner of vessels of ivory, and all manner of vessels of most precious wood, and of brass, and iron, and marble, and cinnamon, and odors, and ointments, and frankincense, and wine, and oil, and fine flour, and wheat, and beast, and sheep, and horses, and chariots, and slaves, and souls of men. Oh, I can go deep on that souls of men, because we can talk about the Dulce base, where they're taking people's souls. And man, bro, I'm just let's not go that deep right now, because y'all ain't ready for that. Well, they're capturing souls at the Dulce base, bro. Alright. And the fruits, verse 40. And the fruits that thy soul lusted after, and the fruits that thy soul lusted after, are departed from thee. And all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. And the merchants of these things which were made rich by her, the merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing and saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen, and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. And every shipmaster, and all the company in ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this city? And they did cast dust on their heads, and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour is she made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High have avenged you on her. The eternal law is in effect. What you sowed, you are gonna reap. Cause and effect, baby. What goes around comes around. Alright? And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. And the voice of harpers and musicians, all your celebrities, all your Hollywood, the voice of the harpers and musicians and the pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee. And no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee. And the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth. For by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. For by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. And in her was found the blood of the prophets and of saints and of all that were slain upon the earth. And now I mourning more and exceedingly for that which I have seen with my own eyes concerning you, and also that which I have read of the words of the brother of Jared, which he wrote concerning you. Behold, you have had the words of John among you all the days of your lives. Yea, ye have also the testimonies of the other prophets of the Most High, and also the testimonies of the prophets that testified unto you in the record of my Father. And now, how can you not understand the words of John concerning you? Behold, Nephi gave a testimony of the importance of the prophecy of John when he wrote, saying, And it came to pass that an angel spake unto me, saying, Look, and I looked, and beheld a man dressed in a white robe. And the angel said unto me, Behold, one of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. Behold, he shall see and write the remainder of these things which have been, and he shall also write concerning the end of the world. And now, are not the words of John correct in that which he has prophesied concerning you of the latter days? Does not his words ring true to your souls, even that upon reading them your bosoms burn within you? Thus the Holy Spirit testifieth unto you concerning the truthfulness of his words. Behold, the words of John are a prophecy in twofold. Or in other words, they are prophetic regarding the great Roman Empire that rose up during the days of John, and the great nation of the United States that you have in the latter days. For their histories are the same, and their powers and influence are the same throughout the earth. And John was commanded to speak unto you symbolically of one that ye might apply. And John was commanded to speak unto you symbolically of one that ye might apply the meaning of his words unto the other. And I testify unto you that the words of John shall all be fulfilled, which he has written concerning these great nations, which each is the seat of the beast in its own time. And when these shall be upon the earth, their power shall be given unto them during the time that the Father hath commanded that his gospel be given to the world, both by his own mouth, which is the mouth of his Holy Spirit, and also by the mouth of his holy prophets, who are called after the order of his Son. And the Roman Empire shall rise up, and the Roman Empire shall rise up, and shall be completely destroyed during the dispensation of time known in the prophecies of the holy prophets as the times. Okay? All right? The times. So during the times, the Roman Empire was destroyed. After the times, okay, the times, there's a time, times, and half a time. During the times era, during the times dispensation, okay, the Roman Empire was destroyed. Verse 57. And the United States shall rise out of obscurity and have its power and dominion, and shall eventually be destroyed during the dispensation of time known as the half of time. Now we are in the half of times, people. So how much longer do you really think that this is? Okay? The Messiah is coming at the end of the half of times. It's going to be destroyed before the Messiah comes back. Okay? Now, he's going to protect his people. Okay? How he goes about doing that, I'm not really 100% sure. Okay? But I picture ships. Okay? I picture great ships. All right, and there's still books that talk about these great ships of crystal. Okay, these like crystal ships. All right, so however he chooses to preserve those that are his is his business. Okay, but I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, which is give you this word so that you can make a logical choice whether you want to be saved by him or not. Okay? Because many of you think you already saved. You think you already saved, but yet you have attached yourself to this satanic beast system. But you think you saved. Okay? You go to the abominable church, that rape children. Okay? Now, the United States shall rise out of obscurity and have its power and dominion, and shall eventually be destroyed during a dispensation of time known as the half of time. And so shall all the nations of the earth be destroyed before the great and dreadful day of Yahusha. Before the great and dreadful day of Yahusha. And the prophet Daniel gave a similitude of these things when he interpreted the dream of the king of Babylon. And he interpreted the dream, saying, "This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art a king of kings among the nations of the earth. For the Most High of heaven hath suffered that thou art given a kingdom, power, and strength, and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field, and the fowls of the heaven, hath he suffered to be given into thine hand, and hath made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold. And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. The fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise.
And whereas thou sawest the feet and the toes, whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of the clay of a potter, and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. And as the toes of the feet were part of the iron and part of the clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. And in the days of these kings shall the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it brake in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great power of the Most High hath made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. And John also gave the description of the fall of these kingdoms of men in this way, when he wrote, saying, And I saw heaven open, and behold a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he does judge and make war. Now, the war that is talking about ain't the war that you used to upon this wicked ass world, because Yahusha ain't coming to spill no blood, okay? The blood that's about to be spilled is by cause and effect, sowing and reaping, okay? Because you've spilled blood, your blood is about to be spilled, okay? He's going to come speak the word of the Most High by the sword of the Spirit, as he speaketh out of his mouth the same thing that the Creator told us in the beginning, the same thing that is within us. He is going to speak these things to you, and your own wickedness is going to condemn you. What you have sown your whole life is going to condemn you, okay? No. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dripped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Most High. And the armies which are in heaven, and the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and divide the wicked from the righteous. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, which is the word of the Most High that proceedeth out of his mouth. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the Most High Almighty power, as I just stated. Okay, now this is when he comes back. Now his word is going to condemn you. Now the goats that's going to be on his left hand is those that have sowed wickedness and evil upon the earth, okay? And those that are going to be on his right hand are those that have sowed goodness and righteousness upon the earth, okay? It's as simple as that. It's not about what you believe, okay? Belief is irrelevant, all right? When he comes back, he's going to speak the word of the Creator, the word of the all power of love and life. If you have lived your life wickedly and you have sowed wickedness, the word is going to testify against you, and you are going to reap what you have sown. Okay? It's as simple as that. Verse 71. And he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying, to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great power, that ye may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them who sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him who sat on the horse and against his army. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet who wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that have received the mark of the beast, and them who worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into the lake of fire burning with brimstone. And the remnant were slain with the sword of him who sat upon the horse, which sword proceedeth out of his mouth, and all the fowls were filled with their flesh. All right? The majority of you gonna be killed, like right there on the spot, all right? And the rest of you, the remnant, you're gonna be slain by his word, okay? And then the fowls of the earth is gonna devour your flesh, and they're gonna become full. You want to know why he called all the animals? Gather yourselves, animals, because they have been taken advantage of this whole time. You have done nothing but mistreat the creatures of the Most High that he created to give us joy. He's going to say, come, the angel. He said, I saw an angel standing in the sun. The angel was standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great power, that ye may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them who sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. Yeah, that includes all of you people that's feasting upon the flesh and blood of the Father's innocent creation. All right? Now, this goes on to continue. But bro, I really don't want this to be so long, because I cannot create a video that's longer than this, and so I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, and we will pick it up again. I'm not gonna do like no 2-hour long video, because it's just too laggy on my PC. All right, so I'll pick it up again as soon as I can. Like I said, I'm already I gotta get to work on this video. I have the video program up already. I'm only 6 minutes and 24 seconds into compiling it. The name of it is There Is a Reason We Have Been Awakened. Okay, I gotta get this video finished. I want to get it finished today. Today is 5/27. It's 9:20 a.m. on my PC, which is 8:21 registering on my phone. So let me go ahead and get on off of here. So I can get to work on this video here, and then like I said, I have another video, another audio that I have on this phone. Is called expounding upon the 2 previous videos. Okay, and then I'm gonna have this coming. Alright, so, and then we're gonna go ahead and get into chapter 73 as well as some other stuff, okay, that I know I need to bring forth to you. Shalom.